Here we go. Oh, where am I going? I just thought of that. Where are we going? The heck route is that? Okay, we'll go that way. Hi, this is Daniel. Your Burger King is on the way. Nah, we're gonna go this way. All right. Good evening, good evening. It's 69 degrees and dry. Slightly cloudy. Oops. Like, seems like they have a endemic going on. Who's beeping? I'm guessing the best way to inoculate yourself is to take a long, quick flight, ASAP. Kathy? Seems like there's a some sort of fatal virus going around Russia. It's really weird. I don't get. Oh, did you? Yeah, for some reason, some of these people in Russia have multiple strange afflictions. Like this guy. He threw himself out the window and shot himself 7 times. Man, it's like the zombie apocalypse or something. You gotta be kidding. Oh, 2 hours. Okay. I thought I saw something different. Well, I just drove to the Honor. I drove to get my first mission, and one of their machines was down, so I got paid to just drive there, which was nice. And then while sitting in the parking lot, another order came in, and I got paid to just sit there and say, sorry, they don't have any food. That's the best $14 I've made in a while. Alright, gotta slow down up here. Touchy suburb here. Watch your P's and Q's. Speed limit reduction, 25 miles an hour. Yep, I love getting that kind of money, especially when I didn't drive far. And I love it better when I get paid again while I'm just sitting in the parking lot. Yeah, I just posted a list of Russian oligarchs who've come up slightly dead in the last year. Oh, sorry, this year. So just in 9 months. It's a long list. That's a really bad club to be a member of. Oh, that's funny. Sad. Sadly funny. Russian general leans over to Putin at a party, whispers, "So if I was planning suicide, you would tell me, right?" Russian humor can be so funny. Brutal, but funny. Well, I have chocolate in the car, so I'm kind of happy. Oh, green light.
Executive Director for the TGI.
The issue around technology is the infrastructure behind it. So what we tend to see is the mobile phones in our hands, but the entire infrastructure setup that leads to that mobile phone being fully functional is still not available. So in some of the areas we operate with our outgrower farmers, we find that most of them do not have the strength of the 3G. Will need to convert that digital cash into physical cash for them to transact. So the absence of the physical infrastructure for them to withdraw the money, the absence of the infrastructure to support the digital platform means that that technological revolution will have to be an evolution. It has to be a gradual process of convincing people to bank and enabling the infrastructure to become viable in those communities. And ultimately, people will now become fully digitized after having comfort with non-digital systems in place.
So in your case, you started by thinking, look, let's get rid of these big, expensive offices in different places, different bank offices, and then you actually went back to physical banks.
So we initially 2 years ago, we started our own brand new bank called Titan Trust Bank, which was meant to be a digital bank. And we wanted a bank that was fully digital, apps, etc., no physical infrastructure or minimal physical infrastructure. But as we started to
Okay.
The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Oh, let's see here. Oh. Sir. Okay. All right, we need to go up there. So to get there, how do we get there from here? We cannot cut across the grain very easily. How do you get there? I don't want to go that way, really. Where are we at? We're there. Gotta get to miles. So, anyhow, all right, turn around. Where are we at? Where are we at? I'll go this way, I guess. Oh, there's a deer. I was wondering if I was going to see some tonight. A lot of movement from them lately. All right, now we're safe. We're back in Cleveland. Yeah, that's a good point. Pay attention here. I always get a little confused. Oh, I missed my turn again. Oh my gosh. Missed that turn again. That makes it easy. So, because it's not in my head yet. Gotta get that silly shortcut in my head better. When you've been doing something for like 50 years, it's kind of hard to take that muscle memory out of your brain.
the Robert Bosch Academy, also an affiliate of Russian and East European Studies at Oxford University. Welcome to the programme. So what do we know, and I realise it's very early days, about this ceasefire?
Thank you very much, James, and good morning. We know that Pashinyan appealed to Russia, CSTO, and UN Security Council. Yes, it's collective security treaty organization, which consists of a few former Soviet republics, including Belarus and Central Asian states. So he did not get a positive response from CSTO. Basically, Russia and Belarus suggested to locate peacekeeping forces, CSTO peacekeeping forces on the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan, because the proposal was declined by the 3 Central Asian republics. UN Security Council is still discussing the issue today, but so far there was a spokesperson statement which appealed to both parties to keep the ceasefire. And however, the ceasefire.
Nothing like sneezing while you're driving through a turn. Yeah, I'll just close my eyes while we're driving through a turn.
Both parties are blaming each other as usual. The part of Azerbaijan, Nagorno-Karabakh, which was on 75% populated by Armenians and wanted to be transferred to Armenia as a whole. That's how the conflict started in 1988. However, there are more actors involved, in particular Russia, who I think is quite concerned by the competing platform of negotiations, which are going quite well, and this is with mediation.
Furnace, trust me on that. And it is a way of life.
And does it pipe it through the house?
Most people that live off-grid have a wood stove, and they'll just heat when the temperatures get cold. They'll heat with wood. And by the way, Alaska doesn't have the best trees, the most BTUs per piece of wood, timber than the states do. We predominantly have up in northern and south central Alaska birch and spruce. But down here in the States, where I'm at now, where I'm working right now, I'll be back in Alaska in a few days. But putting up our supply, 6 cords or so of winter wood / winter heat. But one wood stove will heat a house, and the kicker is you got to keep that house heated if you've introduced water to it. So if you go on vacation, you better have some tricks up your sleeve to keep your house from freezing. In our case, we have a backup, and many people do. They heat primarily, their first main source of heat is a wood stove, but they'll have an alternative like a drip stove perhaps, maybe propane, or propane is popular, if you will, and there'll be an alternative heat source, certainly not electric, they're off-grid. There'll be an alternative fuel heat source that it will click on or can be turned on if they were to leave their house, because the wood stove will go out.
Have you ever been frustrated living off the grid, Marty, where you just say to yourself, why am I doing this?
Never for a moment.
Never.
And I've seen my share of hardship. I've seen my share of sacrifice. I've seen my share of mistakes. I've seen my share of risk. I've seen my share of danger, but never for a moment have I questioned that decision to live off-grid or self-sufficient, self-reliant, independent. Never for a second have I doubted the decision to live a different lifestyle than the common man in that city, in that subdivision, in that apartment building.
Are there many Americans, Canadians, doing what you do?
Well, the statistics that I've researched don't go back very far. 2017, 2018, the numbers, but there has been groundswell all across America, and by the way, across the globe.
Yeah, it's picking up. We're going to take a quick break, Marty, and come back and chat more with you. And, of course, a final hour of phone calls just ahead on Coast to Coast. Our special guest, Marty Rainey, his book, Homestead Survival. That's his TV show, of course, Homestead Rescue.
Join the Coast to Coast AM Facebook page with thousands of members. It's great for show updates and connecting with other fans. Go to facebook.com/Coast to Coast AM and click the like button.
Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished comes the new true crime podcast, La Monstra. In the 80s and 90s, Belgium was plagued by a real-life monster. His crimes are among the darkest in that country's history.
A psychopath is somebody who understands emotions. His whole being was a really deep and evil man.
Listen to La Monstra. That's LEMONSTRE on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ms. Mitchell says, every company in town wants to sell you a brand new AC, but we want to help you get more life out of the system you already own. Schedule your $99 magical maintenance today at mitchellsmagic.com.
So after a hard day at work, I'm heading over to my favorite cigar shop, Cigars, to have a stogie. On my way there, I get a call from my significant other reminding me we're having dinner. She goes on telling me about all her preparations and how fun it will be to talk and how relaxing it will be. I gotta tell you, I totally forgot. So I turn around and I head home.
It's
I
gonna
get home
take
and
me
open the door and there's the surfing music playing, the lights.
way out of my zone, so no, I'm not gonna do this order. Nope. What's this?
You can't drive an electric car without a place to charge it. President Biden taking a big step toward making sure those places are where they need to be.
The president in Motor City, Detroit, praising companies for moving to electric vehicles, saying he's funding locations to recharge them in 35 states.
Charging stations will be up and easy to find as gas stations are now.
Those chargers, part of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, they want to pay for up to 500,000 charging stations. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
Driven in large part by resurgent support from Democrats, President Biden's job approval rating is up
up to 45% in the latest Associated Press North Center poll, up 9 points from the July low of 36 points, but still underwater. Florida Governor DeSantis taking a page from Texas Governor Abbott's playbook on migrants. He sent 2 chartered flights full of undocumented migrants to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. Barbara Rush of St. Andrew's Parish there says they wrangled the Welcome Center at the high school and nearby shelters.
We've got people on cots in the parish hall. We've got people on cots here. We've got families on air mattresses down in the homeless shelter in the library.
State Senator Julian Sear, they're looking just for a better life. And to see this gotcha moment, this stunt, really used for political gain is pretty disgusting. The governors of Texas and Florida trying to force the administration to do what they wanted to on illegal immigration. A lot of those migrants were shipped off to Chicago. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker making a disaster proclamation to speed up the procurement of the immediate resources needed to help Chicago, Cook County, and other jurisdictions provide humanitarian assistance. R. Kelly will never breathe another breath of free air. A federal jury in Chicago convicted him on enticement and child pornography charges. He's looking at up to 90 years in prison on top of the 30 he got in a federal prosecution in New York City. You're listening to ABC News.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
When I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like we didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's...
It would be one thing if there was some legitimate plan to move immigrants and migrants around the country equitably, but to dump human beings in places they don't even want to be is pretty barbaric. But I get it. Green light.
By Andrew Morton, known in part for his bestseller on Princess Diana. The new release date is November 15th. This is ABC News.
Oh, honey, I can't believe you gave me toe fungus.
I gave my wife toe fungus for the 3rd time.
Californian-based outdoor clothing firm Patagonia has given away the entire privately owned company, which is valued at $3 billion, to ensure future profits are directed to battling climate change. This report from Andrew Wood.
Yvon Chouinard founded Patagonia 50 years ago in California. It's made him a billionaire. But in an open letter, he wrote that he never meant to become a businessman. He said he'd considered selling Patagonia privately and donating the proceeds to charity. But he thought Patagonia, like many companies with good intentions, would then face pressure to create short-term gain. So a charitable trust run by his family will now control it. Patagonia will still try to make profits and will reinvest most of them for the long-term growth of the company. The rest will be given away to help the environment. Mr. Chouinard said the Earth was now the firm's sole shareholder.
Pretty awesome.
Scientists say a new breakthrough will allow them to monitor Arctic sea ice all year round. In the past, researchers have struggled to measure the thickness of the ice in summer because the presence of surface meltwater confuses radar satellite readings. But researchers in Norway and Britain have developed a computer algorithm to help differentiate between ice and water. BBC News.
Thank you for that news and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Bola and James. In the programme, diplomatic high stakes as China and Russia's leaders meet. We'll hear from a senior official in Ukraine who has some startling things to say about the town of Izium, which was recently recaptured from the Russians. And we'll head to Sweden, where a far-right party will have a decisive role in the new governing coalition following the elections there. Remember, you can send Bola and me a text message on anything you hear. Our number is +44 77 86 20 50 85.
Millions of eyes will be on Uzbekistan this week as China's leader Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin meet face-to-face at a summit. The Kremlin says the summit, which begins today, will present an alternative to the Western view of the world. It's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which will see other leaders, including those of India, Pakistan, Turkey and Iran, gathering. But this meeting with China's leader is of particular importance. For more on this, I caught up with Dr. Elizabeth Wishnick, who's the senior research scientist at the Center for Naval Analysis, who's on leave from Montclair State University. First, an explanation of the significance of this meeting.
It shows that Xi Jinping is back on the world stage. He chose his first stop to be Kazakhstan, where he unveiled his Belt and Road Initiative in 2013. And he's going to have a meeting with his longtime strategic partner, Vladimir Putin, his 39th meeting with the Russian leader. For Xi Jinping, it's important that he show off his credentials in foreign policy ahead of the 20th Party Congress next month.
And it comes at a time when the Russians are seemingly on the back foot in certain parts of Ukraine, where they've been forced to retreat. So it's not the best of times for Vladimir Putin. And I just wonder what this will mean in terms of support that they may get from China at this stage.
Well, it's a tricky situation for Xi because he can't abandon Putin. That would call into question his personal investment in the relationship with Russia for these past nearly 10 years. And on the other hand, he can't increase his commitment to helping Russia without risking sanctions and counter-sanctions. And so he has to find a way of risking his other foreign policy and economic goals.
And I understand that he also has to balance not just a way of not provoking the West, as you say, into forming some kind of sanctions or imposing some kind of sanctions on China if it increases its support for Russia, but also to placate some of these Central European nations who also haven't been vociferous in their support of Vladimir Putin and his invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, for Xi, I think the Russian war in Ukraine has been a losing proposition. There have been great costs to Chinese foreign policy in terms of the Belt and Road.
T, the number 2, the letter T. T2T.org.
Cigar season is here. So do you know where to get premium cigars at the lowest prices? Famous Smoke Shop. Whether you're celebrating at barbecues, parties, or just relaxing at home, you need to do it with a great stogie.
Hi, this is Arthur. My business has been family-owned since 1939. Every one of our cigars comes with our famous 30-day freshness guarantee.
Famous Smoke Shop has provided cigar knowledge for decades, along with the authentic cigar shop experience.
Your cigars are guaranteed to ship fast, arrive fresh, and be ready to smoke or your money back.
Save $20 off your purchase of $100 or more at famous-smoke.com. Just use code SAMPLER or text SAMPLER to 511-511 to get your favorite cigars, including Romeo, Acid, Macanudo, and thousands more. Text SAMPLER to 511-511 at famous-smoke.com today.
At Famous Smoke Shop, you don't have to be famous to smoke our
cigars.
Celebrity voice impersonated text fees may apply. You may receive up to one additional text opt to opt out.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, along with Marty Rainey. Marty, do you folks go to the store to buy food, or what do you do about that?
Yes, let's just cut right to the chase. Anybody that's writing a book about the simple life and growing all your own food, like you will never go to the grocery store, is basically lying to the public. I don't know one person living off grid that doesn't go to the store, period, including me. But looking at this thing honestly, most of the people I know are growing organic vegetables in a garden or a greenhouse, or have some livestock. A lot of people have chickens, very simple farm animals, homestead animals, and the protein is quite significant. But do all off-gridders that I know go to the store, including me? Yes. Why would I paint a romantic, lifestyle of off-grid where you never go to the store and stores are bad and, I know people like this. I read things like this. It's not true. That's not the lifestyle that I live, and it's not the lifestyle that we promote. The first and foremost thing that we want people to do is, in a sense, reinvent themselves. If they have a dream, pursue it. If they have to relocate, so be it. It'll be the best decision they've ever made. I've never met a homesteader yet that said it was a mistake, in spite of the challenges. And some of those challenges are daunting, which is why Homestead Rescue is popular, if you will. I'm inundated daily by people that want us to come help them in all these endless variety of less than perfect circumstances. But I have never told a homesteader that we grow, or anyone, that we grow all of our own food. We never go to the store. And by the way, even in Alaska, the grocery stores are unbelievable when you walk through the produce section. It's truly unbelievable.
Little kitty cat, what are you doing out in the streets?
No, however, most of that wasn't grown in Alaska, and it came up on a barge from Seattle.
That's right. Or shipped in from California, or who knows where.
Yes, sir. And keeping perhaps with the theme of your show, supply lines, rail strikes, pilot strikes, trucker strikes impact the food in Alaska. In fact, every couple of weeks, these barges go there. But what if something disrupted that?
Exactly.
Just like during COVID. Once again, our hour in Alaska, and we didn't hold the patent on this problem, on this concerning problem that many of us have never seen in our lifetime. We've never seen those store shelves bare.
Never.
And when you see that, all of the
customer requested you leave the order at their
it all
door.
kind
They
of
added the
comes
following
back to you
instructions.
when
Leave at my door.
you think, how can all this, how can 330 million people, again, how can they all be consuming, Americans particularly, how can they be consuming this much food? How can they be consuming this much energy
Hello.
every day without it without there being some glitch, without, albeit accidental or intentional, that would disrupt it. No one saw COVID coming, but in fact it came, and it disrupted everything. Again, not one person on Earth escaped it. It's interesting that it's not just Americans trying to get out of Seattle and move to Idaho, or Californians moving to Texas. These are things that I'm witnessing. 3,000 people a day trying to move.
Sure.
3,000 people a day moving to Florida.
Uprooting their families and everything, just leaving.
Yes. And it's happening en masse. Now, we all know it's been happening for years. You've heard people in Washington complaining about, you've heard people in Washington and Oregon, because I have, and I don't even live there, complaining about the Californians moving out there. Let's talk about Californians for a minute. In 1862, a pretty cool guy named Abraham Lincoln signed into Act, the Homestead Act.
Your food is on the
Every
way.
single person that signed up for it was headed to California.
Did they get free land when they did that?
It cost $18, George, to file for a homestead. 160 acres, black, white, red, yellow, it didn't matter. Abraham Lincoln said, I want to give every man a crack at a good life. They had to live on it 5 years, and they had to farm it. They had to grow their own food. They had to build a structure.
But they did it.
And they did. Now, to be honest, I believe that it was about a little over 4 million people applied, and only 1 point something actually received the deed. And that just tells you how hard that lifestyle can be. It's not an easy lifestyle, but it's certainly doable. I want to say something a little out of left field here, just because I always do when I can. But I want to apologize to all First Nations peoples. When I meet them, if they walk up to me in an airport, I tell them the same thing I'm going to say here, if you'll allow me. I apologize to all First Nations people because we took that land from you.
We did.
The Homestead Act, in fact, was integral in First Nations people being relocated. So I apologize for that. And there's nothing I can do about that now, other than apologize to each and every
You okay?
Yeah. Each and every First Nations person, we took that land away. Beautiful land.
Let's go to our calls for you. They're lining up for you. On the wild card line, Eric's with us, truck driving in Indiana. Eric, you're on with Marty Rayner. Go ahead.
All righty then, hey, George. I got a couple of questions, though. It's looking at the big picture, you might say, but when you were talking about COVID there, did a lot of people get sick up there? I mean, how would you get your wood in and all that kind of stuff if you're sick? And what about transportation? If they ever have everybody to buy an electric car, how would you operate? I mean, if you couldn't have your gasoline vehicle.
Two good questions. Did COVID hit you up that much, Marty?
Two good questions indeed. First, we did get COVID. We got that first one. It was nasty. We were off grid. We sat around our cabin. We quarantined. Again, you can't drive to our cabin. So it was easy to quarantine. And that first one hurt. I think my wife and I were down about 10 days. About 10 days. In fact...
Oh, you got it too, huh?
Yes, my wife and I both got it. We were off grid. And I remember trying to be as careful as I could. And then I remember hearing on the news that it was spreading like wildfire at the gas pump. So if I had an electric car, sir, I might have come out of COVID unscathed. An electric car, at the risk of being facetious. That is a hypothetical question. My son drives. I have 4 children. One son lives off grid with me. We're on the same 40-acre piece of land at Hunter Pass. Extremely healthy, a vegetarian who used to be the best and greatest moose hunter that I've ever hunted with, but for whatever reason chose to get his protein in other ways. Certainly a accomplished gardener and greenhouse grower on our 40 acres, but he owns an electric car. So in our own household, we have members that have decided that is something that would, in his words, help the planet. Do I drive a gas rig? Yes. Do I drive a diesel rig? Yes. But would I drive an electric? As per your question, absolutely. And sir, the day may come that we're all driving them, but at this point, you know, I'm not sure where we're headed when it comes to. I'm not sure where we're headed. I will say this, sir, about batteries and solar. We are making, and not with cars, respectively, but solar panels and inverters and batteries. That triad of technology is incredibly impressive, and I'm a proponent of solar power. Wind can be a bit romantic. We do live in the 21st century. All you have to do is type in, do I live in a region in America that is conducive to a wind turbine that would make it beneficial for me? And it'll tell you in 5 seconds. And the short version on that is somewhere around Minnesota, Wisconsin, down towards Oklahoma. There's a wind, there's a pattern that certain states, certainly Midwest and down, there's wind patterns that make it profitable, if you will, conducive, beneficial to do wind. But many people do wind, if you will, set up wind turbines, and they're not in an area that experts.
Hello, Thilium Nguyen. Hello. Hello. Oh, we're okay. Doing my nighttime thing.
In 800 feet, turn left onto Carnegie Avenue.
Driving around Cleveland.
Turn left onto Carnegie Avenue.
Where are you located?
600 feet, turn right onto Stokes Boulevard.
Oh, I know that.
Turn right. Continue on Stokes Boulevard for 3/4 of a mile.
Whoa, that's a big hole there. Gotta dodge those holes. Seattle, hello there. Ike, welcome. Another new one. Hello. Hi there, how are you? How's the weather in Seattle this early evening, sorry. It's a gorgeous 67 degrees here. And we're going to have really awesome weather for like a week at least. And hopefully I'll get out during the daylight. I'll take my garlic and we'll do some stuff with the rest of the normal humans. I haven't been to Seattle since the 80s, I guess, late 80s. It's been a long time. I wish I had records of all those trips. I do not. Oh, you got forest fire smoke. Oh, we can turn here because we can. A little quicker than turning over there. They're all confused now. She's all confused. F-E. It's fa? What is fa? Maybe I missed something. Shingong Fa. Is that the city you're in? Are you in China? Or somewhere else? Why did I go this way? I don't know. I should have gone Woodland. Why was I doing this? With friends. Why didn't I take Woodland? I don't know. I'm not paying attention. How true there. When I show people around Cleveland, they're typically quite amazed. We have everything the largest cities in the country have on a scale that's fully accessible and at a living cost well less than most other places. I like big cities. I mean, I like DC. I love going to DC as often as I can. And I could consider moving there if I had a reasonable place to live with a decent way to make income. That's high on my list. But for that, I might end up spending a half a year or a year out in LA at my friend's house, because I can do that. I just need to get there, get organized, and get out of Dodge, as they say. I haven't driven out west in 20 years now. That's far too long. Not considering I used to drive out west twice a year. Green light. Well, I can't argue with taking this route right now because we're making all these. You almost never do that. We're in Shaker Heights, Ohio. Once the highest per capita income in the United States. Lots of old money over here. Lots of giant houses. Mouse. You talking to me? Hello. That's Fredo. He keeps me company. He gets into mischief. Why didn't I take... Wait a minute. I'm so confused. Why didn't I take Van Aken? I don't know. See, I'm not even paying attention to these maps. Oh, well. That's okay. We're making good time. This is probably better time than tossing the other way. I mean, I don't know that I've ever driven that whole stretch and not stopped. Oh, look at a bunny rabbit. Did you guys see the bunny rabbit cross in front of us? That was hilarious. Oh, that was funny. He ran across the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you guys saw him or not. Oh, what do we got going on here? Looks like a water main break. Oh yeah, we got leaky water. That's a water main leak. I find lots of water main leaks driving around at night. YouTube at least. I'm not sure I'm following your comments. Let's see, we gotta go down. So nice to drive some of these roads without any cars. I don't think I've ever been on this hospital property I'm going to right now. I don't think I've ever dropped any food or picked up a human there, or dropped a human. I always find that odd for such a big place. Well, if you enjoy this kind of thing, or if you go look at my other 700 videos from Cleveland, from my travels last year, from all kinds of things. Hope you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And share it now and then. Oh. Normally this drive would be a lot more painful during the daytime. So much traffic. We're out in Beechwood, Ohio now. Another wealthy east side suburb. And we're heading to, what do they call it? Ahuja Medical Center, University Hospitals. It's a newer version of University Hospitals out here on the east side. They have many locations. And it's undergoing a big growth spurt already after only so many years. They're already adding a huge addition. Oh, there's the... Oh, that's not it. It's up here. The Beechwood Truck Park. I'm so pissed I didn't get over here last month for a little event. David George, hello. And I haven't eaten at my favorite little, one of my favorite little diner restaurants, yours truly. That's their original location. Used to eat there so much when I was always on this side of town working.
Continue on Richmond Road for 3/4 of a mile.
It's crowded, it's small, it's full of energy. I love going there. Out of the 3 cars I've seen in the city limits of Beechwood, 2 have been police. Alright, arriving on campus. I should have gone up to the other exit. Oh well, damn it. Just noticed that.
Turn right, then turn left.
Let's see here. Where's... Oh no, ER's over here. Kathy Rissman Pavilion. Let's see. Can I go this way? Let's see. I'm not sure. I've never been on the property, really. I did some work for the Rissmans years ago. Very wealthy property development family in Cleveland. Apartment complex owners, property development, shopping plazas. All right, ER. Do not enter. Oh, I see. Do not enter there. Okay.
Head north, then turn left.
Oh, hush. Let's see. I need one of those. Why is that beeping? Huh. All right. Oh. Hello. Oh my. 20 people. Oh, hello. I'm Fredo. Oh, what's your name? Oh, good evening. Good morning. Let's watch some crazy football. So I was just watching, I'm going to show you this. This is one of the reasons I'm not a big football fan, because of the endless violence and just, you know, stupidity surrounding the fans, you know, and that the NFL hires felons, you know, that should be no concern. Watch this crazy shit. Football's so much fun. Oh, fix my shirt. Oh, let's barf some more. Oh, a little more. Oh, let's fight. Oh yeah, look at her, man. Wow. Such nice people. Oh, guess the tailgating didn't go so good. You sure are. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Are you ready for some football? Comma. All of these things are reasons why I could care less about football. The violence, the aggression, comma, and oh yeah, that the NFL hires felons and murderers. But never mind those things and just go have fun. That's That's a priceless set of clips there, man. And that was just week one, yes. Oh, yeah, Hunter. I can't wait for the highlight reel after the 18th game. Oh, yes. Football. I don't know what city all that was at. I didn't pay attention to the uniform colors. Yeah. Just something one of you people sent me. I don't know if you can see that big building across the road over there. That big palace. That's Eaton Corporation's world headquarters on the, literally like on the highest point in Cuyahoga County. Yeah. Let's see. Can we go this way? Let's go this way. Since I've never driven through here. It's a nice little hospital campus. Can't really show it to you as much in this light. And then downtown Cleveland, there was a big announcement. This is their big new addition they're building here. I don't know what this what's this pavilion gonna be. I haven't done, what does that say? It's called the Potash Woman and Newborn Center. Potash Woman and Newborn Center. And then what's this over here? That might be the building on the left. They're building two buildings here. And then what's this building? This is the Cutler Center for Men. That's the lobby entrance, main entrance. I might be doing that. So, two separate men's and women's dedicated centers here. All right, where are we at? We're over here. Which way do I want to go? Gotta get back. Am I even in my... I don't even know where I'm at here. I'm outside my zone. Yep. That's what I hate about taking deliveries like this. I mean, it paid okay. It's just... Yeah, that's Eaton Corporation's world headquarters back there. Huge. A huge building with a huge statement on the highest hill in the county. I think, well, maybe not the highest, but darn close to it. Or should I have gotten on the highway back there? I just thought about that. Yeah, I guess go this way. Cuyahoga. It's an Indian word for crooked. So that's how the river got its name, Crooked River. But if you scramble a couple letters, I used to do this with our the decals that came on the license plates. You had to put them on the license plate yourself for which county, because you know, if you go into the wrong county, you know, the cop's always going to look at you. So that they started doing that, so you know, they could mess with people. And I would cut the letters up on the decal before I put it on the license plate, and if you scramble them, you can come up with Yucca-Hoga. I used to get so many so many people who'd notice that. They just laugh like hell. Where is Yucca-Hoga? Guess that's empty. Oh. Hello, Anderson. Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. It's interesting. I get a number of people from Brazil who catch me. I always find it interesting when I live stream the different countries that sort of pick up on that. All right, light not changing. This light is not changing. You get a squeak from Fredo. Oh my gosh, this light is just not changing. What's going on here? I don't see any indication that it's gonna change. And this is not an intersection you can crash the light. There's always police around this corner. You wouldn't want to do that. There we go. Yeah, where's Maria been? She hasn't been here in a while. From Argentina. Maybe I came out too late. Richmond Road. Let's go further up here.
Transformation, Bath R Us is for you. Most companies will leave your shower to bathtub, not Bath R Us. I'm talking walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, a total bathroom transformation. Vanity, sink, showers, flooring, everything. And schedule your free in-home estimate right now and get $1,000 off. That's $1,000. plus 18 months same as cash. That's right, 0 down, 0 payment, 0 interest for 18 months. Go to BaffleRuss.com. That's BaffleRuss.com. Battle of the Land is back, and you need your help to choose Cleveland's best singers, rappers, and bands. Your votes decide who will perform live at Tower City for a chance to win more than $6,000 in cash and prize. Head to BattleOfTheLand.com and cast your vote.
This very special story is brought to you by Cigars.
I live in a perfect neighborhood for guys who like stogies. An idyllic, quiet neighborhood. Birds singing, squirrels and rabbits running around, serenity. A denful like utopia. Oh boy, do I wish for that. I got this neighbor who's a nagging Nelly. For the sake of my story, let's call her Barking Betty. Whenever I'm outside doing work around the yard, enjoying the stogie or getting my mail, I run into Barking Betty. Yap, 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 she complains about everything. Yap, 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 she gossips and gets into my business. Barking Betty tells me who's sleeping with who. Hell, all I want to know is who's smoking cigars. Just the other night, I get out of the shower, I'm looking out the window, and there on her roof, looking through her binoculars at me, was Barking Betty. Not knowing what to do, I drop my towel and I shoot her the moon. Guys, if you have a nosy neighbor like Barking Betty, run, hide, and get over to Cigars for your favorite cigar. Take a stand against nosy neighbors. Cigars, the perfect place to rest your ash. News, talk, sports. WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Cavaliers and Guardians. And our radio station. From AC News, I'm Richard Cantu. The government later today releases its weekly report on jobless claims.
First-time jobless claims hit a 3-month low last week, and economists say the trend should continue in this week's report. The employment sector has been of the few bright spots in the economy, even as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates. Economists consider first-time filings a proxy for layoffs. Last week, the less volatile 4-week average was also revised downward.
ABC's Daria Aldinger. Negotiations between two holdout unions and the freight railroads continue against a late Thursday night deadline for a strike or a lockout. Rail worker Chicken says it's about more than just money.
Just trying to get us some sick time to be able to take care of, one, ourselves, and two, our loved ones, and that's what we're fighting for, is to quality of life.
There are warnings of potentially catastrophic impacts to U.S. supply chains, but Ansley Fellers of the Nebraska Grocery Industry Association says remain calm.
Paper products, the grain-based products, they will be there. There will be enough. Don't panic.
A strike or lockout could begin at 12:01 a.m. Friday. President Biden becoming less unpopular. The Associated Press North Center poll for August puts the president's job approval at 45%. 9 points from the July low. Resurgent support from Democrats bringing the number up. The president went to the Detroit Auto Show announcing the first $900 million to build electric vehicle charging stations. Down payment on a much larger investment.
As part of the infrastructure law, we're investing $7.5 billion to build electric vehicle charging stations all across America.
California Governor Gavin Newsom signed into law a first of its kind measure that could force some of the state's 100,000 homeless people into treatment, allowing family members, first responders, and others to ask a judge to draw up a treatment plan. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines.
Hello, Selma. I think I've seen your name before. Good morning. Hi, Selma. I think it's been a while. Maybe I recognize your name. Oh, well, it's a slow night. Where are we at? We're at the stop sign. That's where we're at. It was a little busy. All right. Let's go this way. gas tomorrow, maybe. Oh, somebody took that delivery. Oh well. That would be a fun delivery to do, just to go drive in the country. But it's too early in the morning to even try to go after it. It needs to be later. If I'm going to go down there, it's got to be daylight. Oh. Did I eat anything tonight? No, I did not eat anything, did I? I've been eating snack food in the car. I've not been eating real food. Well, walnuts and pecans, pistachios, almonds, they're real food, but I think you know what I mean. Where are we at? This corner? Looks so different at night. Usually so many cars. So many cars. Oh. It's very Milky Way Vegetarian Cafe and Bakery. I need to try some of these places when I remember. Oh, excuse me. Where are we at? Well, we might have to call it quits for the night. Even Rallies is closed. Oh. getting hungry. Am I gonna have to get another chicken Philly? Could be worse. It's decent sandwich.
Raspberry, finish the nutrients.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and you know, considering the other stuff you have choices to buy at this hour of the night. You know, fast food is obviously not the best choice. You know, this is whole chicken, green peppers, onions, cheese, bread. Very basic. And it gives you two meals, you know. And then, yep, so what? It works. Why ruin a good thing? I could get some sandwiches or eggs from the gyro place. I've never eaten from the gyro place, so I don't know what their sandwiches are really like. I suppose I should try one. They do. I mean, this place does chicken tenders also. They do other sandwiches. But this is healthier than the chicken tenders. Those are deep fried, though they are delicious. So delicious. Oh, let's drive down the Superior and see how the pavement is doing. See how the pavement is doing. Go down the hill. See what's going on here. Oh, looks like they might. Do they have the top layer on the other side? No, I think they only have the first layer. Oh, I don't know. Did you guys see the deer? Did you see the deer hanging out there on the sidewalk? Where'd he go? Let's see if we can catch him, or is he gonna move? Oh, he's moving. There he is. Oh, yeah, I've got friends who've wanted... Oh, there's two of them. There's one. Where's the other one? There they are. Remember, when there's one, there's always another. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I've got friends who've wanted me to do it, maybe start a tour thing, but that takes a little more organization than I've got going for me right now. You know, need a proper vehicle, whatever you're gonna do, a vehicle worthy of putting people into. Need insurance, you know, things like that. It could happen, you never know. Never know. I saw one of the walking tours downtown yesterday, or was that today? It was today. And I've never taken any of those. I need to take some of those walking tours just to see what I can learn and meet some new people. It's going to be too late in a while in the year, and they'll probably shut down. Thanks, Hunter. I've given plenty of tours to people, I mean, over the years, especially Uber passengers and friends of mine who don't know the city at all, that live here, you know, but they don't know neighborhoods, you know. Well, maybe they have the top piece of asphalt done on this side. I don't know. I can't tell yet. Yeah, that might be this might be the top coat on this side now. I don't see any sewer lids sticking up anymore, so it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Well, they might have a little more to put down. Maybe they do. I think they might have more to put down. Hard to tell. Like this sewer lid in front of us. Sometimes after they repave a street, they come back and then fix the sewer lids to match the new pavement height. I think they might have more to go down here yet. I still see some sewer lids. Yeah, I think they still got more to do. For sure they do. Well, yeah, I mean, I understand buildings. I've thought about the real estate thing, you know. I've never really looked into it, you know. I've got a bunch of friends who've gotten into it. Oh. Oh. There are no deliveries. It's quiet. Let me think. No deliveries there. What the heck? Apparently I was not. No wonder I didn't get any deliveries. It was turned off. I hate when it does that. All right, well, we got delivery. Somebody's getting their breakfast. All right. Let me look. Let's go check out the menu for myself. Never really paid attention to their menu. And like I always say, what's a night of delivering if you're not in East Cleveland? Best steak and gyros. I think this place has been here for 50 years, something like that. Or they've been in Cleveland for 50 years. Steak Philly, chicken Philly, gyro. Khalil? Khalil?
Khalil? Give me another copy of it. Never mind, I got it.
Oh, I'm hungry. I was driving and coming down here. I'm like, I should go get some food. I still have never eaten here. I got to get some food. What should I get? An omelet? That corned beef omelet sounds good. The corned beef omelet.
Yeah, the corned beef omelet real good. I'm pouring hot sauce on that though.
I like hot sauce occasionally.
That bitch tastes good with hot sauce. I don't know, that's a weird mix, but for some reason it matches.
Oh. Oh. All right, brother. Thank you.
You too, brother. Hey,
Yeah, I should try the omelet. Oh, the penny. If I didn't have two things in my hand, I would have picked it up, but I'll let somebody else get it. I pick up any penny. I don't care what it is. I found a dime 2 nights ago stuck in the asphalt. I took a picture of it. I forgot to post that picture. That's right. I forgot to do that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Good morning. Your food is on the way. Maybe I'll come back and get it. Wish I had a good fork with me, though. I have spoons. Okay, what is all going on here? I don't have a fork and a knife, I don't think. I used to keep a set in my backpack. I don't know if they're still there. Can't stand plastic forks. Where are we going? Crazy. Crazy for loving you. Where's that exit at? Oh, that's all torn up. Wow, that's nasty. Oh, you can get liver and onions around here. But again, it's something you shouldn't eat like a lot of typically. Very high in cholesterol. Oh. This stretch of road in a while. I kind of forgot what it was like. But not completely. A little bumpy. Should have come the other way. Would have been just a little quicker. What do you mean? You get on one of the apps, you turn the app on, it sends you orders. You accept the order or you decline it. Or just let it fade away. You go do the order. That's all there is to it. You go on the app and you order. You download the app on your phone or your tablet or go to their website on your computer and order. Set an account up. Put a credit card in there. I've got houses I deliver to regularly. They obviously got more money than skills to make food like me. But I never order delivered food. I go get it. You choose if you want to make a tip. You know, you just go through the menu, you make notes on stuff you want or don't want. like 14 packets of ketchup at McDonald's. Just go on YouTube. You can find videos to show you how to do it if you don't understand. There's plenty of videos, I'm sure, showing you how to use the apps even. It's not rocket science. And then the app will beep and show you the food delivery, typically, how long it's going to take, show you the driver. You can, you tell them to deliver it somewhere, or to ring the doorbell, or leave it, or whatever. Make notes on how to do that. All right, where are we going? Around the corner here. So how's the ratty-ass gas station doing tonight? It's quiet. One car in the parking lot and nobody hanging out. That's the time to go to that gas station. That place can be just sad and a little freaky for some people that aren't used to that. Yeah, because you get drivers who don't want to come out on bad, especially really bad days. Yep. And I'm very good at that driving, so.
The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Alright. Where? How can a giant flashlight just disappear on your seat? Alright. Oh, we're not taking that order. Sure don't pay. It's from the ratty-ass gas station, but it's way up into the east side. Past even where I just went. Not worth it. Sorry. That I will not be doing. Pay me enough, I'll go, but that's not near enough money. I don't think I ever drove down this street. Now the other side of Eddy Road over there, oh boy, I've been over there a lot. I think we'll go try a corned beef omelet. That's what I don't have in this car, is that steering wheel tape. The steering wheel tray. Another ridiculous delivery. Same place. They increased it by 50 cents. Not happening. Not happening. Got to be worth far more than that to drive out there. Oh, excuse me. I missed my $7 dinner tonight. It's because my schedule was all backwards. I doubt it. You know, the only places I know that actually have their own drivers are pizza joints. So I don't even know how, if, you know, I mean, what does Domino's or Pizza Hut, do they charge for delivery? I've never even looked. I have no idea. I would assume they do. Never even looked. You cook all your food, yeah. I mean, I haven't ordered, you know, even places where I've been, I think with takeout food, they've picked it up. They haven't ordered it to be delivered, even pizza. Somebody goes and chases it. wish there was a sit-down restaurant on this side of town at this time of day, but there isn't. There isn't. Yeah, this rail strike's going to be very interesting. I don't think Biden would let it go long, because the last time they had one was, 30 years ago, and it only lasted 2 days, and then they were told to go back to work by the president. Can't have this kind of interruption now, especially. It would really create havoc. Wood prices have come way down. Things are getting a little better. Yep. Oh, I wish I had that food tray in the car, the steering wheel tray. I wonder how it would work on this steering wheel. Alright, what are we doing here?
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are once again going to talk about the supply chains and what happens if the train stops, because there is a potential railroad strike brewing. It could start as soon as Friday, but that seems a little unlikely. We have talked in the past about what happens if the trucks stop. We talked recently about the possibility of a UPS strike and how much that impacts the supply chain. A freight train strike is that times 10. It's huge. It's a really big deal. So the narrative is shaping up to say there's going to be a strike on Friday. And that is possible, but an immediate work stoppage seems unlikely. Now, the railroads, the management, and because there are so many players involved here, so many multiple unions and railroad companies, we're just going to simplify this. Unions and management. Management meaning the boss, the railroad companies. The railroad companies, they probably would like the federal government to step in. Now, recently, at the beginning of this week, they kind of came out and were like, yeah, we're already, telling people who are going to ship hazardous material or stuff that needs to be secured, we're going to go ahead and tell them to stop. The unions believe that this is them putting the shippers, the consumers, and the supply chain at risk in an effort to pressure the federal government to step in and make sure there isn't a strike. Now, Biden can't stop the strike. There's a thing called a cooling off period, but he already used it. Friday is the end of that period. So it's going to take Congress to act. I think that's what management might be kind of banking on right before a midterm in a period where labor sentiment is running high. I'm not so sure that Congress is going to push that through. Certainly not by Friday. Now, once again, as we talked about before, it's not always pay that is triggering this. In this case, a couple of the unions are pointing to staffing issues that basically require their people to essentially be on call 7 days a week, even if they're not scheduled to work. Now, that's it's not exactly that, but that from the workers' point of view, that's how it's playing out for them. So that's something that they're kind of intractable on. They're not going to move on that issue. The pay and stuff like that, that's one thing. The staffing and the scheduling, that seems to be something that they're pretty set on, that this needs to change. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is a lot like the UPS thing. I mean, if you're talking about something and if it shuts down, the whole country stops, I mean, those people should probably be taken care of, just my opinion. Now, this is going to have impacts beyond just freight trains. Amtrak is already suspending some services, particularly those that are long, the longer routes, because Amtrak, I want to say out of the like 22,000 miles they use of track, they only own like 700 of it. So a strike could definitely impact them as well. Now, Biden is talking directly to the unions and to management, trying to get something done. The Secretary of Labor is stepping in, but at this point in time, there hasn't been a lot of movement. Some of the unions have a tentative agreement, but the engineers and conductors, if they go on strike over staffing and scheduling issues, the trains stop. So that's the situation as it is. I would like to think that a deal will be reached right at the last moment. With something like this is what normally happens. I would think that management would understand that if freight becomes unreliable because of staffing issues or scheduling issues or strikes, that, I mean, shippers may find other ways of doing it. So we're in a period of innovation. Older industries that have been around a long time that rely heavily on technologies that could be, that shippers could find a different way of doing things, they probably want to keep their stuff up and running. So I think we'll see some movement from the management side, but we're going to have to wait and see. They may really be counting on their allies in Congress to step in. I don't know how likely that is, though. So, anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day. Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about why it's important to get a base understanding of the various philosophies that are out there. And not just go off of the preconceived notion that you may have based on the way the word gets used in common conversation in the United States. Because a lot of times, the philosophy and the way the word gets used, they're not the same. In fact, sometimes they're not even close. And if you have a base understanding of the various philosophies, if you come across an issue and you're looking at something and you're thinking, man, this is the real problem right here, you might know that somebody's already devoted a whole lot of time to talking about that exact issue. And while you may not agree with their take completely, it may give you a foundation to come up with your own idea, your own philosophy. We're going to do this because under that video where I was talking about spears, somebody left a message. Somebody left a comment. And I don't mind saying that because I've seen this person comment for a long time. They have a very...
So if you've never seen Bo of the Fifth Column on YouTube, go follow him for rational discussions about all kinds of topics. He's got a few followers, 750,000, lots of videos talking about lots of things. He's a progressive, even though he looks like a good old boy. He lives in Florida. His wife is a nurse. He's got kids. He's on a small farm. He's been a journalist. He's worked as a government contractor, doing security. He's an interesting guy. He's worth following. This is an older one that we were just watching from 11 months ago. I'm going to have to check it out. I mean, he's got 2,500 videos. There's a lot there to watch. And they're all short videos. They're not very long. Every now and then he does go live. He does do a live stream or participates in somebody else's live stream. Kind of rare. All right, what was I doing here? I'm going to shut this off and eat an omelet. Well, 660. How can a phone get so nasty? How can the screen on that phone get so nasty? All right. I think that's the right way. Oh. Oh. It's quiet out. Oh, there's a camera up there. All right. Hello.
I rock the burner when the weather all cool. This is seven got old buckles like leprechaun shoes. Niggas ain't gotta feel me, bitches ain't gotta love me. All I need is my blood, hammer and gotta run me. When you at the bottom, room with the joke, it's not as funny. I'm just trying to turn this floor I got into a lot of money. Let me in there. This gon' be a fucking problem. I'm snatching niggas rollies off when I come.
You get somebody up? No, I'm gonna order. I'm gonna finally eat something here. Years I've been coming here. I'm gonna do the corned beef omelet. Okay. What kind of cheese do you put on there?
Swiss cheese.
That's fine, yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
$11, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, gonna eat. I just wish I had my, I usually have a knife and a fork in my car, but I don't think I have them. I hate plastic silverware. Oh. Oh.
All right. You ain't never ate here on 1 year.
all these years, just pick up food and go.
Finally it's time.
Finally doing it. I've been getting, so I pick a lot of food up at the Rapid Stop, and I finally ordered a chicken Philly there the other night. Holy crap, it's good. I've eaten 3 nights in a row. It's like, all right, we gotta try somewhere different. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh. They don't work, but they're probably like the last 2 payphones in Cleveland almost, still on a wall. Oh. All right, now what do we need? We need chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. Oh, I left my lights on. Let's see if we can get some chocolate milk at the gas station. Don't hit that, man. That'll break your car. That would break your car. All right. I can see chocolate milk from here. My kind of store. Ooh, look at that. All right.
You found what you want, huh?
Huh?
You found what you want?
Oh yeah, I could see it when I walked in, man. It's like, I love this place. No bag needed.
I see you smiling.
No bag needed. Yeah, I'm getting an omelet from Best. So this is my go juice. I love my chocolate milk.
Thank you. $2.99. Yeah, I put chocolate with the coffee. See? Look.
What?
Put chocolate with my coffee.
We used to do that.
What's that?
Oh. Huh?
Okay.
Either way, I can do this. Either way.
Yeah, baby tea. I'll take it.
Yeah, credit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have the cream for chocolate.
Oh, that's expensive.
No. Chocolate?
Yeah. I buy the same thing at another Shell station in Cleveland, $1.99. Same thing.
A lot of fine, $1.99.
No, this is the 55th in St. Clair. $1.99. This is real expensive. I won't be back for it. Too expensive. Tonight only.
No, just $2.99. Like the machine charges 79 cents.
Oh, really?
Under $5.
Oh, okay.
The machine charges automatic.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That was expensive. Almost $4 freaking. Huh? Hold on. 4 o'clock. That's, and then they charge their credit card machine charged 79 cents for the transactions. Like freak. I won't do that again. Not here. Oh, ow! Drop you guys. I will not be buying anything here again unless I have cash. That's crazy money. That's such a ripoff, man. I mean, I get it, but man, that guy's making over. First of all, the milk is $1 more than I can buy it in the city. And honestly, if I'd have known that, I might have just driven into the city and bought it. Because I'm heading that way anyhow. That's crazy. All right, be right back. Where? All right. am I going to eat this in this car? I've never eaten anything like this in this machine yet. Wish I had that damn steering wheel thing. I don't have any way to make up a tray, do I? I have cardboard. Hey, Dutchie. Delivery robots. Hey, Dutchie. Oh, I was looking the wrong way. I don't know that we have any really around here yet. Alright, how am I going to eat this? Oh, Sean, we are eating a corned beef and Swiss cheese omelet. First time I've ever gotten food from this place. And it serves lots of food. I've picked up mountains of food here. This is like time to try some. This is a local chain, Best Steak and Gyros. They're all over town. I have eaten it, a couple of them over the decades, but quite a long time ago. Oh, let's see how I could do this. Any way to make up a table here? Oh. I can't move the seat far enough back. My belly's in the way. Cool, there we go. Fredo. All right, let's look at this food. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's heavy. So it wins on weight. It's heavy, which means there's a lot in here. I still got jellies down here. I got 4 jellies. Probably didn't even need those. All right, the unveiling. All right, let's get some light so we can show everybody. Oh, here's the flyover. Oh, that looks pretty damn scrumptious. Jesus, that's a huge freaking omelet. And home fries. And Texas toast. Wow. I'd say that's pretty good looking. Whoop, don't slide away there. Wow. And that's real corned beef, man. That ain't stuff out of a can. How's the battery on this? Okay. But I should probably turn the key on. Give you good. Well, that was my old game, my rule when I was on Periscope for 6 years, driving and delivering and people driving. Is my link tree is in the bio. Send me the money, and I will come and bring you anything, anywhere. I'm serious. We'll stream the whole trip. We'll hang out. I'll eat half your food on the way. Oh, this looks really good. Wow. Have to admit, this looks really good. Wow. I just wish I had a real fork. I'm serious. I want to get back on the road again, man. Wow. Look at that. Scrumptious. Oh, Wilbur. Okay, that's damn good. Tons of food, Dutchie. Wow. I'll bring you one of these. You want one? I'll bring you one when I'm done. Wow. That's good. Put that down there. It's 2 meals. Yes, this is a big pile of food. Wow. Good home fries. Wow. Whoa, don't slide away, food. Wow, that's good. Let's see, the key's on. Let's get some.
You know, particularly as we're still in a situation with adversaries like China and Russia, the temptation would be to weaponize it and incorporate it into our military.
Strawberry.
You mentioned Avi Loeb and the Galileo project. What is that project specifically?
Well, you know, people can go to the website and look it up, but effectively it's 3 prongs to it. First, it's looking for other interstellar objects like Oumuamua. We kind of missed the last one, and I think Avi's thinking is let's try and get ahead of the game so that if another one of these things comes into our solar system, we have a mission ready to go. And I think some of the people are, you know, talking about what a mission would look like. But another strand to the Galileo project is setting up essentially a network, an integrated network of observatories, and then using artificial intelligence to analyze the data. And a third is looking, you know, it's a great piece of out-of-the-box thinking. If we're being visited by extraterrestrials, one thing that we look at is UFOs, but if you really wanted to survey a planet, you would park a satellite in orbit. And if we've been observed since the dawn of time, as civilizations might, you know, want to do with emerging civilizations like us, let's look for that too. So I think there's a lot that they're doing, but it's all, I mean, Avi Loeb is very insistent, of course, rightly. This is all going to be data-led. So it's all going to be in accordance with the scientific method. You hypothesize, you design an experiment, you gather data, you analyze it, and so on.
Let's go to the wild card. Brendan's with us, Austin, Texas. Brendan, take it away.
Thank you, George and Nick. I am loving the show tonight, as always, and
thank you.
So I've got something super interesting that just broke in the last couple days, really, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on it, Nick.
Wow.
And George, you should get some of your staff to look into this too. Maybe have like a little pre-show talk about it from one of your investigators. But the main astronomical observatory of Ukraine released a paper on Cornell University just a couple days ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, and they were talking about UAPs above Kiev that had been filmed by observatories with cameras that are supposed to be looking at meteors, and they called these UAPs phantoms that absorbed light and heat around them and had a black body. And they did a bunch of math, and it was just pages and pages of math explaining how they determined all this stuff. But they said that they were in the troposphere 10 to 12 kilometers up, and that there was another type of UAP called the white UAPs that had different characteristics and movement. And they said that the phantom ones, the black ones, were 3 to 12 meters in size and had an average speed of 15 kilometers per second. And these were filmed during the day. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that, Nick. You probably don't know much about it because it just came out in the news, but just wanted to hear your thoughts. And George, maybe have somebody look into that because it's really interesting. And any of the audience can look it up. It's on Vice News, New York Post, Life Science, Yahoo News, Cornell University, all that. Thanks, guys.
Okay, are you aware of that, Nick?
Yes, I am, and I've seen. I have not.
Oh, there's so many places in Cleveland you can get corned beef.
Paper yet. I know, obviously, there are already skeptics
I haven't taken you guys to Slyman's ever. Famous corned beef. Sandwiches, just you can't believe how much they give you. Have to go there. I haven't been to the main Slyman's in decades. They now have some suburban locations they've been building. I started to grow their business. They've been downtown for, Jesus, decades. Damn, this is really good corned beef. Holy crap. One of the best places I would ever go for, all right, hold on. I dropped a potato, so I'm throwing it out the window. Oh, it's messy. Is a restaurant I used to eat at a lot, Reuben's. They actually did an amazing corned beef dinner for St. Patty's Day. You got like a quarter of cabbage that was amazing. I mean, it was just kick-ass good. I need to open a window. Stuffy in here, and I have the windows open. That's better. Oh, we got lights on? Why do we have lights on?
Across the whole nations. It means French troops are still deployed in the region. They need to stay in the region to fight terrorism because terrorism represents an existential threat for the EU more generally. They withdraw from Mali, but they rearticulate their military presence in neighboring countries. In Burkina Faso,
Yeah, I wish I had satellite radio. Radio in this car is pretty crappy. Well, let's turn a scanner on. Maybe listen to that. Oh, can't touch things properly with my fingers anymore. Marbling, right? This is some good meat, man. Damn good meat. So here's another comment about the railroad strike. All the working class people who identify as capitalists, siding with the railroad executives over labor unions, remind me of serfs in the Middle Ages who identify as feudalists and side with the feudal lords over emancipators. That's just when you think Russia couldn't be uglier as a occupier. Russian authorities in occupied Crimea have arrested wedding guests for playing a patriotic Ukrainian song and charged them with promoting Nazi symbols. In modern Russia, Nazi is now unambiguously a synonym for Ukraine. Unbelievable. For fuck's sake. Well, they'll do anything to promote their madness. Oh yeah, because Russia's pissed now. They blew up a fucking dam. Another war crime. They blew up a dam. In 1970 Japan, students protest outside a college that was shut down that specialized in manga. While they were waiting, they built this cute little futon for this city cat to rest in. A lot of people don't remember that stuff. Japan had insane protests back in the 70s. By 1970, mass student protests and the barricading of university campuses were no rare thing, the apogee of which came with the 1969 siege of Tokyo University's Yasuda Hall. Learn about the movement in our 5-part series on the JRA. Sadly, no cats in the documentary. And it's on YouTube. Japanese Red Army, homegrown terror. Bombings, battles with police, hijackings And that was just the beginning. The tale of the revolutionary group that would shock the world. I'm going to watch this.
It was the winter of 1972. The snow lay deep as 5 bedraggled men trudged their way up the slope towards the lodge.
Unseen Japan is the YouTube channel.
The bone-weary ache of their legs
Check it out.
like constant background noise amidst the silence of the falling snowflakes. Weary as they were, the prospect of being indoors with heating and real soft beds must have been appealing. Yet gazing up at the form of the building,
I dropped my phone.
with 2 rectangular lower floors and a triangular third,
And that's like hard to get now because I have food all over my lap.
these men knew that rest would not yet find them. The revolution could not rest, and neither could the soldiers of the United Red Army. Uta Yasuko, wife of the lodge caretaker, was busying herself with chores when the door to the lobby suddenly banged open. 5 men, their clothes tattered, marched in amidst the drifting flurry. That rest would not yet find them. The revolution could not rest, and neither could the soldiers of the United Red Army. Uta Yasuko, wife of the lodge caretaker, was busying herself with chores when the door to the lobby suddenly banged open. 5 men, their clothes tattered, marched in amidst the drifting flurries and freezing cold of the outdoors. What's more, the men held weapons. Shotguns, a rifle, and a pistol, unheard of for civilians in Japan. Before Yasuko could ask the men what they wanted, they were upon her. Yasuko was pushed down by the intruders, who tied her up and ordered her to keep quiet. Their stench was alarming, but she hardly noticed it amidst the sudden shock of the intrusion upon her daily life. The 5 men went about hurriedly checking each room of the lodge for occupants. No one else was present. In fact, Yasuko's husband was out on an excursion with 5 guests currently staying at the lodge. Had left Yasuko to hold down the fort. He would not return for some time. Yasuko looked on as the men began pulling up the tatami attic for floors and started using it to cover all the windows and doors. They next added to their barricade by pushing any and all furniture up against potential openings. One of the men returned to the kitchen, reporting to the chef the intruder seemed to be in charge, that the lodge had enough rice and stores to keep them fed for well over a week. It had been decided. Here was where the revolutionaries would make their last stand. They had electricity, food, warmth, and even television access. Something that would prove useful as the news crews began to descend upon the scene. More than that, they had their guns and ammunition. Most importantly of all, they had the cause on their side. The intruders looked out from the cracks in their barricades as riot police they knew had been tracking them assembled outside, soon numbering in their thousands. The sleepy hillside was alive with the movement of helmeted policemen, and the skies with the whirring of helicopter blades as the media gathered. Amongst the milling riot police stood Yasuko's husband, anxious and heartsick. The siege of Asamo Santo Lodge had begun. The shocking events of the siege, which would last for more than 10 days, would hold the people of Japan spellbound. And yet it was just the last action of a hunted crew of homegrown revolutionaries, the horrific truths of which would very soon come to light as the bodies of their murdered comrades were unearthed from the shallow, frozen graves in which they'd been interred. The same group of revolutionaries had already made worldwide headlines with their daring hijacking of a passenger plane to North Korea, and soon the names by which they called themselves, the Red Army faction, United Red Army, and most of all, the Japanese Red Army, would come to be synonymous with terror, not only in Japan, but throughout the entire world of the 1970s. Konnichiwa, everyone, and welcome back to Unseen Japan. I'm Noah Oskow, and today we're at the threshold of a UJ First, a 5-part series on an entire era of Japanese Japanese history. We'll be following the sprawling but endlessly fascinating and honestly rather intense history of the Japanese Red Army, the Japanese terrorist group which startled the world in the 60s, 70s, and even as late as the 80s. I hope you'll enjoy coming along for this wild, often dark ride, and if you do, give us a like and subscribe for more, or even lend us some support over at our Patreon so the series can keep going. So without further ado, back to the tale, the JR. The Marxist-Leninist Japanese Red Army came of age amidst the heady, chaotic years of the radical student movements of the 1960s. The group which first appeared on the world stage as the Red Army faction, and which at its greatest extent had as many as 1,000 core members, was the child of many mothers. Born from the near constant splintering that occurred within student leftist groups over disagreements regarding communist doctrine and what defined the right sort of revolutionary action. There are many things about the Japanese Red Army and the history of the Japanese leftist student movements that might surprise the modern observer. That Japan, now known for the intense political apathy of its citizens, and particularly among the young, once had a youth culture that was so passionate and motivated by progressive ideals that it mobilized hundreds of thousands of people to take to the streets, to occupy college campuses and storm government buildings, and to do battle with thousands of armored riot police. It can seem almost incredible that the most extreme elements of this massive cultural movement also gave birth to a Japanese terrorist organization who would go on to commit heinous murder, carry out politically motivated massacres, take hundreds of hostages, and embarrass the governments of whole nations, can seem even more unbelievable. The demonym Japanese has been about as far from synonymous with terror for decades now as that of any people on Earth. And yet the Japanese Red Army was, in fact, very real. And the terror all began in the form of the Red Army faction. The origins of the student movements in the 1950s and 60s are found in the dramatic changes that occurred within Japanese society following the downfall of Imperial Japan at the end of World War II. The American occupation forces, headed by General Douglas MacArthur, set about democratizing Japan from almost the moment MacArthur's plane alighted at Atsugi Air Base in August of 1945. Japan, devastated both economically and morally by the war, was to be reshaped from what was essentially a military dictatorship, one with a culture centered around emperor worship and the state-sponsored Shinto religion, to one that was a functioning democracy, where human rights were enshrined and where the people would be free to organize and alter their society as they saw fit. Government of and for the people, not of and for the emperor. To this end, the Civil Rights Directive of centered around emperor worship and the state-sponsored Shinto religion, to one that was a functioning democracy, where human rights were enshrined and where the people would be free to organize and alter their society as they saw fit. Government of and for the people, not of and for the emperor. To this end, the Civil Rights Directive of October 4th, 1945, guaranteed the rights of freedom of speech, assembly, political activity, and religion. When Japanese lawmakers proved too reticent to write a constitution that reflected these ideals, MacArthur pushed through one of his own staff's design.
Well, I never thought we could do it. But once I heard him say he wants it by the end of the week, I was thinking in terms of a month or 6 weeks. This was the opportunity that many people would really give their right arms for. No one had any constitutional expertise.
The most remarkable aspect of which is the famed Article 9. The article in question uniquely forbids Japan from possessing offensive military capabilities. Amazingly, a large subsection of the Japanese population took to these forced changes, excited by the new freedoms offered them. Freedom was also something gained by those political prisoners who had long languished in imperial Japanese jails. Despite protests from Japanese officials, MacArthur freed all those whom the imperial government had considered ideologically dangerous. Japan's most influential leftist thinkers and activists were able to breathe the free air again for the first time in years. While MacArthur's occupational government shifted course from the onset of the Cold War, favoring setting up Japan as the bastion against communism, rather than a paragon of true democracy, the fuse had already been lit. Those who had become enamored with the new freedoms of the post-war years would now often be willing to fight for their rights to independence and to exercise political power. the Japanese Communist Party, which remains the largest non-ruling communist party in Asia, began to flourish as it never could have while outlawed by the previous regime, going from a pre-war membership of less than 1,000 to 150,000 by 1950. The major reason for the party's popularity was that it presented itself as decidedly reasonable compared to the revolutionary communist parties of other countries. American occupation officials were often surprised to find that the Japanese communists shared their democratic ideals more strongly than did the mainstream of the Japanese government. The occupational government also greatly altered the education system, ensuring that many more people would go to school than before and for many years longer. University education, once reserved only for the elite, suddenly became a major life goal for a much larger subsection of the population. The Japanese system we know today, wherein almost all of youth is spent in a stressful preparation for a series of school entrance exams, on which the very future of an individual can hang, became prevalent in this era. Even worse, supply simply did not meet demand, and it has been estimated that in the early post-war period, only 1/5 of applicants were accepted to university in any given year. Entrance to university proved the first and perhaps only period of relief from continual life pressures. And yet the substandard nature of many underfunded and often still woefully war-damaged universities and the lack of meaningful interaction between faculty and students, as today classes were primarily lecture-based, left many young students feeling unfulfilled. Student self-governing movements arose in the post-war years to fill this void felt on campus, and a huge percentage of students found themselves involved with these groups. At the same time, MacArthur was encouraging the formation of unions and urging students to engage in free and unrestricted discussions of issues involving political, civil, and religious liberties, and to help call out ultra-nationalist imperialist teachers who still existed in the school system. The students of Japan did this, but did him one better as well. In 1948, forming a nationwide league of student self-governing associations, known as Zengakuden, short for the All-Japan League of Student Self-Government. The majority of the student leaders of Zengakuden, which shortly came to represent 60% of the student body in Japan, were firm followers of the Japanese Communist Party. Zengakuden and the JCP consequently became a major force behind the mass student movements that shook the nation in the years to come. Many students, infatuated with the promise of democracy offered by MacArthur's administration, were incensed by the rollbacks of the rights to protest during the Cold War. When, in 1949, the Ministry of Education tried to introduce a bill that would prohibit the use of universities for political congregation, Zengakuden led the students into the streets, 200,000 strong. The students and faculty also came together to shut down hundreds of universities around the country. This incredible show of public opposition forced the government to scrap the bill. The student movement had found great success in its first ever action. Success was short-lived. The advancing Cold War and the increased radicalization of the JCP led to a series of red purges, with the government removing known communist professors from universities. Japanese youth, once enamored with American ideals, became horridly disillusioned with what they saw as the hypocrisy of Western democracy. As the Japanese government attempted to pass a draconian anti-subversive activities bill in 1952, 20,000 protesters converged on the Imperial Palace, battling baton-wielding police with hurled stones as they attempted to storm the royal residence. Thousands were injured and 2 students died in the attempt. The battle lines had been drawn, and the image of masked protesters armed with staves or even Molotov cocktails facing off against armed police would become an increasingly common one. The next decade and a half bore witness to incredible civic struggles as tens of thousands of impassioned youth faced off against police time and again over issues ranging from the Vietnam War to the controversial United States-Japan Joint Security Treaty, known as the AMPO Treaty, and the continued presence of American military bases throughout Japan. Students staged sit-ins on campuses across the country, shutting down education to such an extent that one year both matriculations and the acceptance of new students was called off entirely. Leftist students and farmers faced off against police in attempts to stave off the seizing of land for the construction of Narita Airport, now the main international airport in Japan. Students briefly occupied Tokyo's Shinjuku Station, which soon became the scene of frenzied fighting as scores of police moved in to remove the protesters. The famous Yasuda Hall of Tokyo University suffered the same fate when the police finally laid siege to the embattled student occupiers, who had held the building for 6 whole months. But not before famed hard-right author and right-wing student militia leader Mishima Yukio entered the hall for a now famous public debate with the students. As the years dragged on and the student movement became more frustrated, more and more cracks began to emerge in their unified front. First, the leaders of the Zengakuren broke from the JCP. The Communist Party had returned to moderation in order to re-enter mass politics. Then, other groups broke from the Zengakuren itself over differences of doctrine. Radicals consistently saw the groups they were a part of as lacking in revolutionary zeal, leading to a near-constant splintering of leftist groups. Not only this, but Japanese society, once supportive of the aims of the student movement, had turned away from the constant violence and chaos. By the late 1960s, being involved in a radical group was now enough to risk one's chance of future gainful employment, which was the whole point of university attendance in the eyes of Japanese society. This left only those who were willing to fully reject a place in that society within an ever-shrinking movement. It was this near-constant distillation of radicalism that led to the creation of the Japanese Red Army in the waning years of Japan's New Left. The JCP begat Zengakuren, who in turn begat the Communist League, or the Kyosan Shigisha Dome, just one amongst dozens of ideological splinter groups. The Communist League then in turn begat the Red Army faction, which in turn begat the notorious United Red Army and the Japanese Red Army. It had all started during a 1969 meeting held by the Communist League for its leadership from universities around the country. The ideological heads of the organization were to engage.
I remember some of this. 70s, 60s, and 70s were tumultuous all over the planet. It was, you know, a massive time of change and sort of different awakenings of people that they can do things, that they don't have to accept what's been going on. Some of these scenes from these confrontations look pretty wild by what we had in this country. I mean, we had our moments, but we didn't have those kind of confrontations, not at that level. They had crazy amounts of people out doing stuff. This is going to be fun to watch, this whole series. Good history lesson. I got to send this to a friend of mine. He's married to a Japanese woman. I wonder if she knows much about any of this because she's much younger. I don't think she would have been, yeah, she wouldn't have been born in 70. Still eating the omelet. It's a good omelet. I'm very impressed. And these potatoes are really good. I forgot to take a picture of the omelet. I'll have to go back and steal it off the video. I need to go back in there and tell them that this is the bomb. You can finish checking out this documentary series on your own. I'm going to definitely watch.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we will be talking about how sweet dreams are in fact not made of these. And Hardee's and searches and an expansion of an investigation that we knew was occurring, and a familiar cast of characters, and what it means for the future. If you missed it, noted pillow industrialist Mike Lindell was at Hardee's when the federal government decided to execute a search warrant for his phone. There is a reported copy of the warrant floating around, and suffice it to say, the information in it leads me to believe that despite his superior pillow products, he won't be sleeping easily anytime soon. It says, all records and information on the Lindell's cell phone that constitute fruits, evidence, or instrumentalities of violations of, and it goes through and lists the laws, identity theft, intentional damage to a protected computer, a conspiracy involving that, so on and so forth. Those violations involving Tina Peters, Conan James Hayes, Belinda Neasley, I could be saying that name wrong, Sandra Brown, Sharona Bishop, Michael Lindell, and or Douglas Frank, among other co-conspirators known and unknown to the government since November 1st, 2020. That's what they're looking for. That's pretty expansive. Tina Peters is somebody who we have talked about on the channel before. She is a unique figure out in Colorado. The My Pillow guy is somebody who was at the White House and at one point emerged holding a looked like maybe notes that detailed conspiracy theories. And Lindell has become a prominent figure in the election denial industry. So, a number of things about this. First, obviously, this is an expansion of an investigation that began at the state level, and now it appears to be reaching figures who are at the national level. They're of national prominence, who were at the White House. And the other thing to note is, this is just free advice for you. I am not a lawyer, but if you ever see your name listed in the fashion that this was, if you see your name in a list like this, step one, contact a really good lawyer. Step two, it's probably a good idea to learn how to cook in a microwave using
Hey, John.
using ramen. Generally speaking, once the feds have gotten to this point, they kind of already have the information needed to indict. They are very certain of their case once they start doing stuff like this. It is worth noting, though, that at this point, this is all alleged, and none of this has been tested or proven in court. It's important to remember that kind of stuff when we're talking about this. That being said, the allegations as they appear are things that might link activities at the state level to people in the White House. So while this may seem kind of an unrelated side investigation to everything else that's going on, all roads lead to the same place. So you will see this material again, I'm sure. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
Why would you love a traitor? So if you've never seen this guy, you should go spend a little time watching some of his stuff, even if you don't agree, because he discusses many topics in a very sane manner. Here's his channel on YouTube, Beau of the Fifth Column. Lots of videos, lots of topics. Why would you love a guy who's a grifter and a traitor to the country, John? You don't what? Said he do? Oh, I said. Oh, he loves Trump. Sorry, I read that wrong. No, he doesn't love Trump. Not at all. Beau is a progressive journalist, a guy who's worked as a security contractor for government agencies or companies that are government providers of security. Oh no, he don't love Trump at all. He's talking about the pillow guy in that, how the pillow guy's phone got taken by the FBI. Go check out his YouTube channel. Really good stuff. What did I just see down? Oh man. Oh, here comes an ambulance, it looks like. Going to the hospital. Not in a big hurry, but they're on their way. Slow. I made a tiny bit of money. Not much. Then I got this freaking amazing omelet. Corned beef omelet. Oh my gosh. So damn good. From this place, I pick up food all the time. Best steak and gyros. I've never eaten here, but I will again, that's for sure. getting full. It's a lot of food. It's 2 meals. Cut it in half. Sell it to somebody else. Which comment, Dutchie? What comment? Did I miss something way back here? Black Panthers. You like the gyro omelet? Oh, I missed that. Sorry. This is better. I like a gyro omelet. I get that at one place. This is really good. I definitely should try their gyro omelet. They make good food here. I'm very impressed. This corned beef is kick-ass. Now I'm gonna get a food coma because I ate so much. What did I want to look at? All right, folks, I'm going to hang up for a little. Maybe I won't come back. Maybe I will. Fredo, what are you doing? Fredo's crashed. What the heck? Fredo, what are you doing? Come here. Come here, my man. Oh, I'm sleepy. Oh, I'm gonna lay down. Okay. Okay. And I'm getting a food coma too. All right, we'll see you folks later. Hope you had fun. Go check out some of those videos I was showing. Like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, ring that bell, and you know how you can help. Thank you all. Bye.